Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, good morning, Why is this on? Hold on. I'm right-handed. We're starting the meeting. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Once again, we are practicing social distancing. So hopefully at some point we'll be through with that and I can welcome my colleagues back. But I would like to let everybody know that all of my colleagues are here. Supervisor Gates and Supervisor Chukri are on the phone today, and Supervisor Gallardo and Supervisor Sellers are up here with me. So appreciate everybody being here and being on time. So first of all, I'd like to turn it over to District 1, my Vice Chair, Jack Sellers, for an introduction.
Thank you, Chairman. And it's my pleasure to introduce a resident from my district, District 1, who will lead us in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance today. It's Chaplain Tom Bowder. He's a Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force Auxiliary, the Arizona Wing Chaplain of the Civil Air Patrol, and a resident of Sun Lakes. Welcome and thank you, Tom. Please begin when you're ready.
Okay, please rise.
Thank you, and let's join our voices together. Lord, we come before you at this another very critical time. Seems we have new criticals daily, and we know we must rely on you as we walk step by step through the maze, and you guide us in all of it. Lord, as this meeting begins, and as these your servants seek to do your will, we ask that they have guidance, clarity of thought, and direction for every decision, large or small. Thank you for these people and their willingness to accomplish the job set before them. Help them to clearly see the needs and help them make the decisions necessary for the better of our county, our state, and our nation. And we'll give you praise in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I guess I am to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance also.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom.
Chaplain, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, and I shall bow out.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move on to the roll call. Clerk Fran McCarroll is downstairs, so if you'll please call roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Supervisor Sellers.
Here.
Supervisor Gallardo.
Here.
And on the phone, Supervisor Chukri.
Present.
And Supervisor Gates.
Here.
And Chairman Hickman.
And here, so thank you. Moving on to the pet showcase by the Maricopa County Animal Care and Control, always a highlight because usually they're here in person, but they can't be, or maybe not in person per se, but in animal form sometimes as well. This is Olivia. Olivia came in as a stray, so we don't have much background on her. She's a pug mix, about 2 years old. She's been very friendly with our staff. Olivia will be available for adoption on Wednesday at 5 p.m. The installation, another update on the Animal Care and Control. The installation of the new coolers on the kennel buildings is going well. Most buildings are finished, and we anticipate a quick conclusion to this project. The air conditioning conversion for Kennel Building D is on schedule to be completed in June, so right on time for the heat. So thank you to Animal Care and Control and Facilities for getting that taken care of. Before I move on to the planning and development, though, I would like to call a point of personal privilege. Mary Martin is joining us today, and I'd like to turn it over to Joy Rich for a moment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're going to see a video here in a moment highlighting some of Mary's accomplishments. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the traditional interviewing folks and that sort of thing, so Beals and his communications staff kind of put together a compilation, I think, of the things that most signify Mary's contributions here. If you'll recall, before Mary got here, we were engaged in a very protracted and sometimes contentious public process about what we needed to do to improve animal care and control, and frankly, Valerie is here as well. I don't think any of us here legitimately thought that we would ever be in the position that we are here today when it comes to animal care and control, and we owe that to Mary Martin and the tremendous accomplishments she's had in her tenure here. She came to us in November of 2016. That was actually her second tour of duty here. She was here in the early 2000s as well, but just briefly, some of the things that Mary has done. Our live release rate was charitably in the low 80s, I think, when Mary got here. It's consistently above 95%. And for an open intake public shelter, that is absolutely unheard of. We had long talked about having a transport program where we took our animals and actually got them in forever homes in parts of our country where they were needed and desired. Mary made that happen just over and over and over again through her connections and the way that people believe in Mary. Her fundraising obviously has been unbelievable. I think by our calculations, Mary's brought over $1 million in contributions to the shelter since she's been here, and that's because people admire her and trust her and are willing to put their money in Mary's hands because they know that she will do the right thing with it. One of her passion projects is the Pet Help Program, which has, gone into our neediest neighborhoods and really targeted providing their services to these folks, but also building a level of trust in those communities that I don't think government often does. And so I know that that is something that's near and dear to Mary's heart is all of those activities. She's kind of revolutionized owner surrenders here. It's never a good thing when an owner has to give up a pet, obviously. Mary's put in a way to do that by appointment so that there can be some interventions at that time and make every effort to find out why that family or that person is having to give that pet up and see if it's a pet deposit, if it's lack of veterinary care, to kind of plug that gap and make sure that those families stay together whenever possible. And she's also made it easier for people to find their pets both in the field, that those pets those owners are found there, but they can also search databases and try to get those animals back to their owners. So that's just a small complement of the things that Mary has done here, but I think in summary, Mary's accomplished things here that we just absolutely never thought were possible, and it's a true testament to her. And we have a little video, like I said, but it just really doesn't do Mary justice in all the things she's accomplished. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Joy. Let's run the video.
This is the no judgment zone, and we don't look at what people are driving or what they have in their wallet, because love is not measured that way. Hi, I'm Mary Martin. I'm the director of Maricopa County Animal Care and Control. We say our goal is to responsibly keep the animals out of the shelter, keep them in their homes, responsibly get them out of the shelter through transport, adoption, RTOs. But on top of that is to make it be better for them while they stay in the shelter. It took some time, and it took adding a whole bunch of programs. We want to bring animals to the people to ensure that they choose us as an adoption option.
First of all, the Playing for Life, getting those dogs out and playing. I saw a change in depression down there.
We are seeing, more animals getting out of the shelter.
That's the one. Yes. Yes.
Alive, safe, happy, healthy. We are starting these transport programs where we're moving some of the animals out of our community into other communities that have a large adoption rate with very few animals to adopt out.
Look at the number of adoption events that have been put out. Look at the lines that are formed outside the doors before the doors even open. To me, that brings tears to my eyes.
We're very lucky to have our partners, the Arizona Animal Rescue Mission and the Two Pups Wellness Fund, that have been allowed us to provide medical care in case something comes up in the early days of an adoption, so that people don't feel like no good deed goes unpunished.
Maricopa County Animal Care and Control saves more than 95% of the animals that come into our shelters. You'd be hard-pressed to find a public shelter with a better save rate.
Tons of volunteers. Volunteers are amazing. Amazing what those volunteers do for this organization. And because of them and because of our partners, we have been able to change that story. We were probably 2.5 average, saving about 80% of the animals in our care, which is not terrible. But when you're taking in 28,000 animals a year, 20% is a big number of animals. We can't do this alone. So I have nothing but gratitude to everyone who's invested in us.
Okay. Great video. Looks like a lot of happy people. Thank you, Joy, for setting the scene for us. I think, so my colleagues on the phone know, I'll just go in order of districts. Mary has been extremely important to this organization since she's come back to us. So I'd like to start maybe with my vice chair, Mr. Sellers.
Thank you. And I want to thank Mary for the work she's done here at the county. It's been under some very trying circumstances, so thank you so much. And I wish you much success in your next adventure. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jack. Steve Chukri, do you have anything for us today?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mary, I'm sorry I can't be there today. The chairman wouldn't let me. He's requiring us to stay out of there, but obviously for a good reason, all kidding aside. And we're grateful for you. And I remember first meeting you, and there's one thing that's undeniable, and that is your passion for pets and trying to always find a different angle, a different way to just be that much better with our animal care and control. And I think that's been proven out with your time here, with your amazing ability to take people's recommendations and try to just run them to ground, even if they weren't the best ideas in the first place. You still gave it the effort, and you still made sure that you would at least try to make it an argument whether or not it was going to be feasible for the county, but most importantly for the pets. And so I'm grateful for you for that. And I know that when Mr. Schwartz, one of my constituents, had some ideas and thoughts about transporting animals and maybe those other states that could utilize and want some of these animals, you were very instrumental in that. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't think this is goodbye. I wish you well in this newest venture. And if there's anything District 2 can ever do for you, just don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you.
Great. Bill Gates.
Thank you, Thanks, Mr. Chair. I also would, wish I could be there, Mary, to thank you personally, but just want to echo what's been said already. And I want to thank you for coming out and speaking at one of my county coffees. And I saw how well you worked with, just to kind of piggyback a little bit on what Steve Chukri was saying, listening to the comments that folks had, giving, really listening to them, taking those thoughts into consideration, and making the Maricopa County Animal Care and Control a better operation. And the numbers speak for themselves. The save rate and the fundraising that you've done has been outstanding, and we are all in debt to you, and we wish you the very best in your next endeavor. Thanks so much, Mary.
Great. Supervisor Gallardo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I definitely want to just echo all the comments that have already been made. Mary, you have really just come in and turned this department around. And in the video, I don't know if you remember the video. You see the video when I think it was Petco. Petco gave that big check. Was it $500,000 or something? $500,000 check. And that check was given to Animal Care and Control because of you and your leadership. Let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. It was something they wanted. They saw the great, tremendous work that's being done here in Maricopa County. They wanted to be part of it, and they provided a check. It wasn't that we reached out to them. They came to us, and that was because of your leadership, your team, everything you have done to turn that office around. I can tell you just from District 5, many of our families, we love our pets. They're part of the family. Unfortunately, many of our families can't do everything we can for our pets that we want to. And when they come to you, they come to the agency, they come to even our office. You and your staff have just been wonderful in helping these families keep their pets. They don't have to surrender them. give them what they need so we can keep, as the video said, keep those families together because they are part of the family. I mean, I have a pet myself. He is part of the family. I mean, he owns that house just as much as I do. And so when you see the work you have done over the last just couple of years, it is really have turned that agency around. I know it hasn't been easy. You've had some naysayers out there. We've all seen them. The hell with them. You've done a great job. And we appreciate everything you have done. We appreciate what you have done in making sure pets are taken care of. There is no doubt in my mind or anyone in this county your love for the animals. We see it every day. And I appreciate it. I wish you the best. If you ever want to come back, by all means, the door is open. We wish you well in your future, and I know you have great things lined up. I can tell you, just talking to folks in the animal industry, let it be PetSmart or Petco, they all say wonderful things about you. So you have a remarkable reputation out there in what you do, and I wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Maybe I should have saved you for last, Mr. Passion. Echoing everything that everybody has said, and it's really hard not just to bang the same drum, but the passion that Steve just displayed goes for, I'm sure, all five of us. You came in, I know that Steve and I were on the board way prior to your arrival, and we were getting painted with a brush up here of being very unpassionate towards the issue of sheltering and adoptions. Things were not going well. Val stepped in and started to right the ship, and then you came in and further started selling that ship in a great direction. I remember the comments that we had prior to your arrival, and a central issue was we were killing too many dogs. And you've come in here, righted the ship. I know that we will continue to work towards that end. I'm happy to see that you are staying in the Southwest. You came from New Mexico. You hit us, doing a great job, and I know you're going to do great things in Utah. But I also know that you're just one state over again. So we appreciate you staying in this region. I'm sure you'll be tapped again by this community when it comes to some of these issues. I know PetSmart is I think they're still based here, so that's a pretty large company in this environment when it comes to taking care of animals and providing pets to this state. So we wish you luck. We wish you well. Again, I'm going to echo Steve's. Yeah, we get naysayers all the time, and too bad. You've done a great job, and we're ready to propel ourselves further. So thank you for that, Mary, and all the passion that you've shown towards Arizona and the pet community. So we wish you well. I appreciate it very much. You bet. Okay, thank you, Mary. You don't want to stay for the boring part of the meeting? You know, you've been around here long enough. You know when this meeting gets tedious. Thanks, Mary. Okay, we will now go on to planning and development, 5 through 10, the landings and seasons at Riverside, assurance agreements and resolutions. The board will now consider items 5 through 10.
Move for approval.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, under planning and zoning, on the consent agenda, PZ1, the shop, PZ2, Glendale Ridge Estates, PZ3, U-Haul of Levine 2, PZ4, Peak RV Storage, PZ5 through PZ9, the landings, which were parcels as listed on the agenda, PZ10, Seasons at Riverside. The board will now consider consent agenda items PZ1 through PZ10.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, I was notified by Jen Pekorski this morning that there is a slight typo on PZ4. This is for special use permit for RV storage, and in one of the lines it says for mini storage, although the main case number is correct. I just wanted to make sure that that was clarified This is a special use permit for RV storage.
Great, okay. Thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion with that adjustment?
Mr. Chairman, do we still want to do you want to pull that out separately, or just want to?
I think we can just make it.
You can just do it with the correction.
Okay. All right. Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that we approve items PZ1 through PZ10 with the changes that have been stipulated, or the corrections that have been stipulated on item PZ4 by our clerk, as they are noted in the record.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll now go to the regular planning and zoning. I am going to make sure that Jen Prikorsky and Darren Gerard are on the phone with us today.
Yes,
we are. Thank you,
Yes.
Chairman.
Okay. PZ11 is group homes, but there also seems to be a request to continue to June 10th, 2020. So, Jen, you might want to let us know what's going on there.
Sure. Thank you, Chairman. We received that request to continue that item set date from the applicant. They are hoping that the social distancing measures will be lifted by that time, and they really want to present this case in person. So they're asking for a continuance.
Okay, so in order to get a more public setting. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Then, do I have a motion to continue PZ11 to the June 10th, 2020 meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I move that item PZ11 be continued till June 10th, 2020.
Great, thank you, Steve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The board will now consider regular agenda item PZ11. PZ11 is Symmetry, 56th Street and Lone Mountain. There's also a request for indefinite continuance. I will look towards Steve Chukri. This item is in District 2.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, is it PZ 11 or 12?
It's
Oh, sorry.
12.
Oops, yeah, I'm sorry, PZ12. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, just want to make sure we're talking about the same agenda item.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you may recall, and my colleagues, back on our April 8th meeting, I had wanted to continue this, and we did continue it with the footnote that it may need to be continued again, and that's where we find ourselves this morning. There are still some concerns by the neighbors. I do believe that the landowner and developer are doing the best they can to try to come up with a plan that works for everyone. And as we all are keenly aware and believe that private property rights are something very sacred and mean a lot when it comes to these developments. However, those rights are a two-way street in the sense that making sure that we respect both parties and their intentions. And we just have not been able to get there. And that happens. So what I am recommending at this time, Mr. Chairman, and I'm making a motion as such, to take item Z2019136 and have it continued indefinitely.
Okay, so that's a motion to continue indefinitely?
Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, still under planning and zoning, under the regular agenda, PZ13 is the Falcon issue. I will ask Jen, because this is in my district, Jen, would you like to fill us in a little bit of why we're going to be asking for an indefinite continuance?
Sure, Chairman and members of the board. This case was continued from the April 23rd Planning and Zoning Commission hearing. There is opposition that's been raised from City of Goodyear and also Litchfield Park. And then recently, Luke Air Force Base had raised some concerns regarding traffic along Camelback Road. So because of that, the applicant asked to continue the case from the April 23rd Planning and Zoning Commission. So this item has not been heard yet by the Planning and Zoning Commission. It is on the agenda for the commission on May 14th next week. So it's premature for this case to be in front of the Board of Supervisors, which is why we're recommending that it be continued indefinitely and then rescheduled after it's heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, great. There does seem to be a lot of discussion that needs to happen. I've been tracking this at different levels. I would tell the applicant before this case comes back to this board, I would strongly encourage the applicant to speak with Goodyear, Litchfield Park, and Luke Air Force Base to hear the concerns and have a chance to start working on those concerns before it comes back to this board. We all understand that that is a very sensitive area around Luke Air Force Base. There's been lawsuits about that issue, so I would strongly, I'm not going to make the motion because I guess I'm chairman, but if somebody could make the motion to continue this indefinitely to give a little bit more time for the applicant to make those phone calls. Or actually meetings in person would be best, but that's up to them.
Mr. Chairman, yes. I move to continue PZ 13 indefinitely.
Thank you, Jack.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Jack. Now we'll move on to statutory hearings under Clerk of the Board, number 11, road de-annexation for the city of Avondale to Maricopa County. Fran, is there anyone here or on the line to comment on item number 11?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Great. The board will now consider item 11.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of item number 11.
Thank you, Supervisor Gallardo. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under county officers, under county attorney, number 12, budget adjustment for special revenue fund. Under sheriff, number 13, incentive payment MOU with Social Security Administration. Number 14, an agreement with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Number 15, donations of personal protective equipment. Under treasurer, items 16 through 20, offers on tax deeded land is listed on the agenda. The board will now consider items 12 through 20.
So moved.
Thank you, Steve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, tied. I'll give it to Bill. I haven't heard from Bill yet. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under judicial branch, adult probation 21, grant from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Central Arizona Safe Trials Task Force. Juvenile probation has item number 22, grant funds for family counseling. The board will now consider items 21 and 22.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of items 21 and 22.
Thank you, Supervisor Gates. Do I have a second?
Second.
Great. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under county management, Assistant County Manager Leanne Bone, who's here today. Number 23 is the appointment and resignations of Maricopa County Workforce Development Board members. The board will now consider item 23.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And thank you to all of the people we're talking about for their service to the county. County offices and departments under air quality 24, amended agreement with Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. 25, terminate license agreement with Arizona Center for Nature Conservancy, Inc. Under animal care and control, 26, New Hope agreements with Tickled Pink, Weimaraner Rescue, Inc. And under county administration, 27, amend IGA with the Flood Control District for support services. The board will now consider items 24 through 27.
Move for
So
approval.
moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I think I heard both. I'll give you the second, Steve, and my vice chair gets the first. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under Facilities Management, number 28, updated surplus policy A2510. Under Finance, 29, funds, transfers, and warrants. 30, International Genomics Consortium extension request. Human Resources, 31, market ranges. Human Services, 32 through 35. Amendment agreement with Wildfire, Community Bridges, New Foundation, and Human Services Campus. Board will now consider items 28 through 35.
Move approval.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Second.
And Steve Gallardo gets in under the wire.
No, I beat him. You know, Madam Clerk, will you just demonstrate the favoritism being shown by the chairman right now?
Please demonstrate it so I know on my next vote, Steve. Steve? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Under Human Services, number 36, CARE Act funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Under Medical Examiners, 37, IGA with the Chandler Gilbert Community College. Parks and Recreation, 38, agreement with Southwest Wildlife Conservation Center. Steve, is that number 38, is that in your district?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll know how to vote now. Under Planning and Development, number 39, Romero property. And under Procurement Services, number 40, contract with Hensel Phelps Construction. The board will now consider items 36 through 40.
Move for approval.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under Public Health, number 41, IGA with Arizona Department of Health Services. Number 42, Renewal Award with Arizona Early Childhood Development and Health Board. 43, amend renewal agreement with Arizona Early Childhood Development and Health Board. 44 through 47, amend IGAs, contracts and agreements with Arizona Department of Economic Security, Peoria Unified School District, Arizona Early Childhood Education Association, Wesley Community and Health Center. Number 48 is a grant agreement with Arizona Early Childhood Development and Health Board. The board will now consider items 41 through 48.
Move approval of items 41 through 48.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second?
Second.
And I have a second. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Great. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under Public Health, 49, grant funds from Health Resources and Services Administration. Number 50, agreement with Mountain Park Health Center. 51, purchase order to IGA with Arizona Department of Health Services. Real Estate, 52, amend IGA with the City of Tempe. Under Transportation, 53, road abandonment, road file number AB323. 54, contract with EPS Inc. 55 through 57 are IGAs with the Flood Control District of Maricopa County, Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, the State of Arizona, and Maricopa Association of Governments. The board will now consider items 49 through 57.
Move for approval.
Thank you. Jack, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Thank you, Steve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Still under Transportation, 58, competition and practicable with Kemley, Horn and Associates. 59 through 60, funding from Maricopa Association of Governments. 61, easement, right-of-way, and relocation assistance documents. The board will now consider items 58 through 61.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under setting of hearings, Clerk of the Board, 62, Evergreen Irrigation Water Delivery District. Under Planning and Development, 63, Planning and Zoning cases. Under Transportation, 64 and 65, Patent Easement Abandonment, road file number PAB-0108, road file number PAB-0121. The board will now consider items 62 and 65.
Move approval.
Thank you, Bill. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Under the consent agenda, I do have a note here. So under number 66, duplicate warrants, 67 through 68, property reclassification appeals for approval and denial. Under 69, secured, unsecured tax roll corrections. I'm going to pull item 70 for a moment. Item 71, treasurer's collections and investment summary for March 2020. 72, tax abatements. So we will go items 66 through 72, but pull out item 70.
Mr. Chairman, I move I move approval of items 66, 67, 68, 69, 71, and 72.
Very specific. Okay, thank you, Supervisor Gallardo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Great, thank you, Vice Chair. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any against? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, on item number 70, because I've pulled that out, I believe that we have a note that Supervisor Gates would like to recuse himself on this issue. Is that true, Supervisor Gates?
That's correct, Chairman Hickman.
Great, so you will not be voting on this issue. Thank you. So item number 70 is settlement resolution of property tax cases and claims. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion, and I'll give you the second, Jack. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We will give Supervisor Gates a time to recheck in to get back on the phone again. Are you there, Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. I also have another note, so we'll go through this one by one. And the Assistant County Manager, Leanne Bohm. Thank you, Leanne. A1, CARES Act budget and spending guidelines. A2, accept CARES Act funds under County Attorney. A3, consent judgment regarding the Brown case. We are going to hold off A4 for a moment. A5 will be a consent judgment regarding the Weiss case. Under County Manager, A6 and A7 is donation of personal protective equipment. Under elections, A8, amend the deadlines for 2020 election plans. So Supervisor Gallardo, maybe you might want to shoot your stuff again.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, I move approval of item, we're going all the way to 8, yeah. Mr. Chairman, I move approval of items A1, A2, A3, A5, A6, 7, and 8.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a second with a comment. I want to personally thank Mr. Alan Yang and the Contemporary Chinese School of Arizona for the donation of 2,000 masks to our
Emergency services?
Emergency services.
Or public health? One of the two. They're both working together. Great. Thank you, Jack. Is that where you went out and thanked them personally? Thank you for doing that, Jack. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We will now take item A4, the amicus brief in the case of DNC versus Hobbs. We will now consider item A4.
Mr. Chair, move approval with the comment.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Go ahead, Mr. Supervisor Gates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's very important that Maricopa County speak in the DNC versus Hobbs case. And this amicus brief, which is a friend of the court brief, gives us an opportunity to give our unique perspective on what the Ninth Circuit ruling in this case, the negative impact it could have and the lack of direction that it leaves Maricopa County with as we move forward in administering elections. So that's why I think it's important that we file this amicus brief with the court, explain our position and how we need clarity from the court, from the U.S. Supreme Court, to make sure that all valid votes are counted and that everyone's rights are protected in Maricopa County. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Currently, is that the only comment? So do you want me to take a vote or?
No, oh, definitely not, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I have thoughts.
Okay. Supervisor Gallardo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I think I have an understanding of the concerns by many. And I'm trying to really take the politics out of this. I mean, because it's really easy to inject, partisan politics and weigh in one way or another. Not that I'm saying anyone is, but I'm trying to look at it from a practical standpoint. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm like, how did we? And I believe I understand what the courts are saying, and how do we approach some of the provisions that the courts have kind of stated in the case, and how do we implement? And I go back to, well, how did Karen and Helen Purcell, how did they approach these types of situations? And I can tell you, even just working there in the office back many moons ago, they took it real serious. And I look back at what they did. I look back at what our office did, District 5, because our district is considered the minority-majority district, which the vast majority of the people are either Hispanic, African American, or Native American. So we took that at heart. And even with the PPE, we went that extra mile to make sure that we did not violate any portions of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And you look back even to the Section 5 of it, where and that's where Karen and Helen really focused on. And yes, the Supreme Court has struck down most of the Section 5, saying it's unconstitutional. At least the formula was unconstitutional. But there's still that guidance in Section 5. Like, how do you make sure you have no Section 2 violations? These are the violations where you're disenfranchising people of color. And how do you prevent that? And you look at what we did with just the PPE, and we're going to do it again for our primary. We're just talking about it. We're setting up meetings now, aren't we, Dave? We brought in all the minority legislators. We brought in the African American legislators, the two of them, and all the Hispanic legislators, and we invited the Native American legislators to sit down, and we had a big meeting up on the 10th floor in our informal room. And we sat down, and I said, and we had the meeting, said, hey, this is our situation, folks. We got to reduce the number of polling sites. We got to do it in minority-majority areas. We know the challenges that the voters face. How do we do it? And we engaged them. And they came up with a plan. And then we took it on tour. We had a formal hearing here in downtown Phoenix where we invited the public to be part of it. We had one at Desert Sky Mall where we teamed up with Telemundo to do a live streaming on their website. We brought in the machines so voters can actually touch it and vote. We brought in LULAC, and that's how we address what the courts are stating. That we did go that extra mile, and we plan on doing it again in the primary in general, to be able to engage them, to get them involved. And that's exactly what Helen and Karen did when they were overseeing the elections office, and how they dealt with Section 5 and the pre-clearance. And they got minority communities engaged and involved and included in the process. And I believe that's how you address this particular court case. We've never really had guidance from the courts or the federal government on how you do it, because every jurisdiction is different. But I think you address their issues by doing what exactly we've done over the last couple of months with the PPE election, what I'm going to do in the primary in general, particularly because my area is the minority-majority district, and you just kind of take those extra steps to make sure that they're engaged and included in the process. So I am going to be voting opposed to this. I'm not trying to weigh in on the whole ballot side, the ballot collection side. That's a political fight at the Capitol. I'm not interested in that. But when you look at the provisions that could impact us and what we can do to address the concerns that were laid out by the Ninth Circuit, it's exactly what we're doing now. It's what we're doing. We're engaging the minority communities. We're engaging the Native American communities. I haven't had an opportunity to do this, but I plan on going in front of the Intertribal Council and get all 23 tribes and say, hey, this is how we're going to do elections in Maricopa County. What do you think? Particularly now that we changed the rules and we're now kind of overseeing the day of election voting. So it's those practices and principles, it's all those steps that you try to mitigate any type of disenfranchisement. Those are the steps. I've always believed that the measuring stick that we should be using when conducting elections is if we're disenfranchising one voter, that's one voter too many. That's the measuring stick we should be using, and I think we do. Let that voter be in Wickenburg or New River or South Phoenix. If we're disenfranchising one voter, that's one voter too many. We need to stop, think how we're doing it, and try to make some changes. But I think what we're doing now to mitigate any possible Section 2 violations, we're doing now by making sure we engage some of these areas or some of these communities that are covered by the Voting Rights Act. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I am going to be opposing it. We're going to continue to do what we do in District 5. I'm going to continue to work with these communities that are covered by the Voting Rights Act and making sure they're engaged in what we're doing. So with that, I appreciate the thoughts, and I appreciated the in-depth discussions we had earlier this week, but I will be opposing this motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Bill. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just real briefly, first of all, I absolutely respect everything that Supervisor Gallardo is saying, the outreach that he does in his community. Nobody knows District 5 better than Supervisor Gallardo, but I did want to make sure that everyone who's watching this understands that this amicus brief, we're not going out and hiring a high-powered law firm. This brief is going to be written by our own local high-powered law firm here at the County Attorney's Office. So no money is being spent for outside legal services. Just want to make sure that everyone understood that.
That is a very good point, especially when you know that the bent five wise is always looking towards money expenditures in these types of things and our fiscal authority. And I applaud the county attorney's office for their help with this. So I will call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Moving on, we will now recess as the Board of Supervisors and convene as the Flood Control District Board of Directors. Under Flood Control District, F1 through F2, IGAs with Maricopa County for support services. Maricopa County Department of Transportation. F3 is an amendment agreement with Keith Flake. FA1 is a consent judgment regarding the Brown case. The board will now consider items F1 through FA1.
So moved.
Thank you, Supervisor Chukri. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I'll give it to the vice chair. You were magnanimous with your approach. Okay, I have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We will now adjourn as the Flood Control District Board of Directors and convene as the Library District Board of Directors. Under the Library District, L1, donation from Friends of the Sun City Library. Let me thank them for their hard work out there in troubled times. They are a beacon of hope out there in my district. The board will now consider item 11-1.
L1.
L1, I'm sorry. Oops. My eyes. Item L1.
So moved.
Okay, have a motion?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Great. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We will now adjourn as the Library District Board of Directors and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors. Under Board of Supervisors, item 73 is the public comment period. Fran, do you have anything to report regarding public comment, either today on the phone or email?
Mr. Chairman, I'm checking with those that are checking the website, and I don't believe we have anyone on who is wanting to make a comment. We have some people who have been watching the meeting, but no comments.
Okay. Thank you very much. With that, then, if there are no public comments, we will move to item number 74, Supervisor's Summary of Current Events. So first, I'll I'll start with our lovely county manager. And I used to call Tom Manos lovely county manager too. So.
And lovely he is. I have nothing today, sir.
Okay, thank you, Joy. Jack.
Okay, just a couple of quick things. And I'll mention again, a thank you to Alan Yang, the principal at Contemporary Chinese School, for the donation of 2,000 masks. He is a board member of the Phoenix and the Chandler Sister Cities associations, very involved in the community. And this is the second time I've gone and received donations like this from the Asian community in my district. The Taiwanese community donated 1,000 masks to the Chandler Police Department, so very involved in the community. So thank you again, Alan. The other thing I'll mention is I attended a long meeting, a Zoom meeting yesterday for Federal Funding Public-Private Coalition, basically organized by David Martin at AGC. And it's bringing a group of people together to ensure that, and the primary focus is around infrastructure funding from the federal government as we look at new stimulus coming. But he involved a number of people, including Craig Sullivan, to ensure that we really don't lose the focus on ensuring that we're getting all the money appropriate from the federal government for all the needs. And particularly centered around the fact that the counties in Arizona are the ones responsible for public health, and that's where the cost increases are hitting us, and also the loss in revenue. So interesting group, and I'm now part of that subcommittee going forward, so I'll keep you posted.
Great, thank you, Jack. I'm going to turn to on the phone. We'll just go by district again. Supervisor Chukri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two comments. One being just gratitude to you and our talented team that is navigating us through this very difficult time. And it looks as though we're making very good progress, and I'm hopeful that in the coming weeks we will be not necessarily COVID-free, but we will be in a much better place to having our arms around this terrible pandemic and going in a direction that is better for not only just Maricopa County in Arizona, but the country itself. So I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to all of the folks working this day and night, and I hope that they're watching and know that that gratitude is there. And then secondly, Mr. Chairman, I wanted just to make sure that we remember the great leadership and work of our former Governor Hull, who passed away, and I was remiss in not mentioning this at our last meeting, but COVID-19 has had a way of kind of taking such a focus that anything in the periphery seems to disappear, and I certainly do not want that to happen in this case with Governor Hull. I did not know her well. I've only had met her once or twice. But she was, from what I remember and have seen, a very silent leader, but a leader nonetheless. And I certainly want to, as a county supervisor and as a county as a whole, make sure that we remember her and the positive mark she left on Arizona.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Thanks for your comments. Supervisor Gates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would echo Supervisor Chukri's comments about Governor Hull, a great leader, and she's definitely missed. And we definitely want to recognize all the leaders who are stepping up around the county, including you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for your leadership. But it's been recognized by others. And this week, Chief Justice Brutinel was giving out his Judicial Service Awards. And he has awarded one of these awards to our presiding judge, Judge Welty, along with the other presiding judges from across the state for stepping up in this difficult time during this era of COVID-19. Incredible changes and transformations that have been done over in the court system. And I just want to tip my cap to Judge Welty for receiving this award. Very well deserved. And secondly, a point of personal privilege, a big birthday coming up before our next meeting of the Board of Supervisors. And I know this is one of your favorite constituents, Mr. Chairman. My dad is going to be celebrating his 70th birthday coming up on May 16th, so a big milestone. He spent some years living up in Canada, so we were actually going to take him as a family up to Vancouver for a few days to celebrate his 70th birthday. Unfortunately, that has been postponed. But in the meantime, we will come up with a great way to celebrate his 70th birthday in these interesting times. So with that, Mr. Chairman, thanks so much.
Thank you. I love the personal thoughts there. So congratulations, and many more to your dad, Bill.
Thank you.
Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted to just briefly mention our most recent tour. Was it last week? Last week. It was last week. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that on our agenda as well, that the item was of their contribution to the whole pandemic. But it's amazing. Every day I get up. I have my own routine in the morning. I get up, I make my coffee, and I walk the dog around. And there is a van pulls up every morning around the same time, and it's from the school district. And they pull in, and kids from around the neighborhood come and with their parents, and they line up and they provide food to all these kids. And it just reminds me the challenges that many of the families face every day right now. Even prior to the pandemic, you had so many families facing so many tremendous challenges, both economically and socially. It's been very hard. But even more so now, where many of the families perhaps have lost their job, and they're kind of waiting to see how things happen and how the economy opens and what's the next step in their lives. But it's remarkable to see the number of kids that are just lining up, and it just breaks my heart to see that. But that's the world we live in. And every day these two ladies, I can't remember their name. I went and introduced myself, but they come every morning, they park the van, and they're distributing juices and milk to a slew of kids. And some of them are older. I think there might be high school kids, but they don't ask. They just give it to these kids. And it just shows me just the challenges. And then we do our tour last week at AmSafe, a company right in kind of the heart of my district that, unfortunately, shame on me, I never knew existed. When I got the address, I was like, where am I going? And I'm going through this industrial park area, and come and behold, there's a company in my district that their primary product is seat belts on airplanes for the most part. And they were telling us that, they service 95% of the industries. The seat belts on airplanes are made by them, and they have shifted during this pandemic. They have used part of their personnel to do something good, really give back, and that is to make masks and also the clothing for our first responders. And you and I had the opportunity to take a tour, and it's just remarkable. And when I left there, Dave and I left there, I was like, man, I said, it's amazing that during these hard economic times, during these critical time right now through this pandemic, you have great companies that have just taken the lead by themselves, were never asked. They decided this was the right thing to do. They pivoted and they started making these medical masks and gowns for the first responders, and it was just a wonderful tour. I want to thank you for including us on that tour. But it's just remarkable, the number of folks that have just stepped up and come out of the woodwork to do great things. And when I see these ladies come and provide food, and I see these companies come and provide these medical PPE stuff, it's just remarkable how everyone comes together in the time of a crisis, and I'm very grateful for that.
Great, thank you. Steve, I'm so happy you brought that up. I was going to bring it up as well. It was in your district, and it just shows the importance of enticing local manufacturing to stay here, to come here. And these are manufacturers that were able to turn. In fact, even our president took notice of Honeywell in your guys' district that is making masks and swung on a dime also. But to see a small company like AmSafe that's been here for a long time that has done it too. And the county was able to use our procurement capacity to get them in business and to solve a need in the elderly assistance homes. I think it's fabulous. I was going to also mention the second part and thank Zach and the county attorney's office for sponsoring a tour for Senator McSally to come and take a look at the Joint Command Center for Public Health and emergency services, thank you. So emergency services, to see what they do and to watch a U.S. Senator take a look and see how the county is responding to this pandemic in an extremely professional, cohesive manner in a new building that the county attorney let us use. And I can't thank County Attorney Alistair Adele enough for helping us with that. That was a great tour, and Fields, your group with the JIC and how we are keeping our community on basically the cutting edge of information in a honest and transparent way, and hopefully they are understanding that there's planning that's going on every hour by the hour, and you calling attention to that. Joy's staff, I appreciate it so much. Number two, Cindy and the budget staff, I know they are working hard. My brothers, as a business, we are looking to figure out where we're going to be, not just the next day, but the next month and the next year, based on uncertain times. And for her and her staff working and trying to identify this, because we have one time, basically, we set the budget priorities and then we set the rate to pay for it, and all the work that they're doing to be nimble to get us to a point where we can make a very good decision. For all of our public elected officials, we all have our own agencies and our own offices to support, but we have to understand that this economy is going to take a shot. No matter how you slice it or dice it, people are affected. People have lost their jobs. People might even lose their homes. That's where our property taxes come from. So I appreciate all the electeds understanding that these are very uncertain times, and I appreciate the planning that's going forth for all of us so we can make some key votes in the future. And Bill, you mentioned a birthday, and I thought I'd mention this too. There are two big birthdays I want to call out to of special women in our life. Scott Isham is not here today because he is celebrating his daughter's sweet 16, Josie's birthday. And yesterday, I didn't maybe have a food truck show up, but I did have an ice cream truck show up for my daughter Marcella's 10th birthday. So that was with personal spacing. That's really hard to do with excited kids that are all jacked up on ice cream. So that was a nice event. So happy birthday to those two special women. So with that, appreciate all of your work, everybody. Let's keep it up, and let's keep hitting the ground running. So I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you for being here.